The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In a world that constantly tries to dictate how we should feel, think, and act, imagine possessing the power to find inner peace and happiness, regardless of the circumstances swirling around you. That's not just powerful, it's revolutionary. It's about taking control, not of the world, but of something far more important and absolutely within our reach, our own minds. Stoicism teaches us resilience, gratitude, and the art of living a fulfilled life. But this isn't just a history lesson. It's about you, your life today. It's about facing the chaos of our modern world without losing your cool. It's about finding calm in the storm and happiness in the simplest of things. It's about transforming your mornings from something you dread into a powerful launchpad for a day filled with purpose and joy. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the noise of life, if you've ever struggled to find a moment's peace, or if you're just curious about how ancient wisdom can be your secret weapon in the 21st century, stick around. This might just be the video that changes everything for you. Let's dive into the Stoic strategies that can help us craft not just a morning routine, but a life filled with intention, resilience, and true happiness. I implore you to give your full attention to this video from start to finish. If you've made it here, you're not like everyone else. You're a standout, someone who seeks depth and wisdom. Your dedication to absorbing this content in full sets you apart even further. This might sound like a fancy term, but it's actually a beautifully simple concept that comes from Japan. It's about discovering that sweet spot where your passions, skills, societal needs, and what you can be paid for all intersect. It's your unique reason for being. Imagine waking up each morning fueled by a clear purpose that excites you, something that makes the thought of hitting snooze irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. He was deeply invested in the idea that we're all here to play our part, to contribute something meaningful. He urged us to approach each day as an opportunity to fulfill our role with integrity and passion. Now, think about that in the context of Ikigai. It's not just about finding what you love. It's about aligning it with what the world needs and what you're good at. That's where the magic happens. But how do you start uncovering your Ikigai? It begins with some introspection. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What am I good at? What does the world need from me? What can I get paid for? It's okay if the answers don't come to you right away. This is about the journey, exploring different facets of your life and interests and seeing where they converge. This quest for your Ikigai isn't just some fluffy, feel-good exercise. It's about setting the foundation for a life that's rich in meaning and satisfaction. When you align your daily actions with your deeper purpose, even mundane tasks gain significance. Your relationships start to flourish because you're more present and engaged. Your creativity soars because you're aligned with your true passions. And overall happiness? Well, it becomes more of a constant companion than a fleeting visitor. So, as you think about setting your alarm for tomorrow morning, consider what Ikigai means for you. What could be so compelling that you'd leap out of bed, eager to start the day? Remember, this isn't about overnight transformation. It's a process, a gentle unfolding. And as Marcus Aurelius would remind us, it's about doing the work, day by day, with dedication and honor. Finding your Ikigai isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about embracing your role in the larger tapestry of life, contributing your unique thread to the ever-evolving human story. The ancient Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, were big on the idea that our actions should be purposeful, not just random acts thrown into the wind, but deliberate steps guided by our inner compass. This philosophy extends beautifully into how we prepare for the day ahead, starting the night before. Here's the deal. The quality of your morning begins with how you spend your evening. It's tempting to binge watch your favorite series until the wee hours or scroll through social media until your eyes blur. But let's pause and consider how that sets you up for the next day. Your brain needs time to unwind, to process the day's events, and to recharge for what's ahead. That's where a solid pre-sleep routine comes into play. Imagine treating your evening routine with the same respect and intention as you would any other important aspect of your life. This isn't about rigid self-discipline that sucks the joy out of your evenings. It's about creating a space that supports your well-being and aligns with your goals for the next day. For instance, limiting screen time an hour before bed isn't about denying yourself relaxation. It's about giving your mind the cue that it's time to wind down, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Planning a bit for the next day can also be a game changer. It could be as simple as jotting down your top 3 priorities for tomorrow. This act alone sets a clear direction, ensuring you wake up with a sense of purpose. And here's where the Stoic mindset really shines. It's about acknowledging what's within our control and letting go of what's not. We might not be able to control every detail of our day, but we can certainly influence how we start it. And let's not forget about some deep breathing or meditation to calm the mind. This practice isn't just fluff, it's a powerful tool that signals to your body that it's time to rest. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly helps reduce stress, lower your heart rate, and prepare your body for deep, restorative sleep. It's like pressing the reset button, ensuring you wake up not just physically refreshed, but mentally and emotionally as well. In today's always-on world, this might sound like a Herculean task, but it's absolutely vital for setting the tone of your entire day. Picture this: the first moments of your morning, untainted by the digital clamor of emails, social media notifications, or the buzzing news cycle. It's just you, your thoughts, and the serene quiet of the dawn. That's not just refreshing, it's empowering. Marcus Aurelius was a strong advocate for living with intention and focus. He wasn't distracted by the notifications of ancient Rome, and believe me, he had his share of distractions. Instead, he emphasized the importance of concentrating on the present moment and the task at hand. He knew something that's even more relevant today. The quality of your attention determines the quality of your life. So, how do we apply this ancient wisdom in the modern age? First, it's about creating a morning space that's intentionally free from digital distractions. This isn't about shunning technology, but rather choosing not to let it dictate the start of your day. It's tempting to roll over and immediately check your phone, but that instantly puts you in a reactive state, responding to the demands and dramas of the external world. Instead, give yourself the gift of a peaceful start. Imagine dedicating the first hour of your day to activities that nourish your soul and sharpen your mind. Maybe it's reading, meditating, journaling, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee as you gaze out the window. This isn't wasted time, it's an investment in your well-being. By avoiding distractions, you're not just avoiding stress, you're actively creating a reservoir of peace and focus that you'll draw from throughout the day. Making the most of your mornings isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about subtracting the noise that doesn't serve you. It's about prioritizing what truly matters before the day's demands start pulling at your attention. This is where the Stoic practice of focusing on what's within your control comes into play. You might not be able to control the flood of emails waiting for you, but you can control how and when you choose to engage with them. So tomorrow, challenge yourself to start the day on your terms. Resist the urge to dive into the digital world first thing. Instead, anchor yourself in the present moment, savoring the peace and potential that the morning holds. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to live more intentionally, more serenely, and more in line with who you aspire to be. Let's make our mornings a testament to that ambition, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and an unwavering focus on what truly matters. Stoicism, at its core, is about understanding what is within our control and acting with virtue and intention in those areas. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, these guys weren't just talking about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. They were advocating for a proactive engagement with life, taking charge of our actions and our mindset. Waking up consistently is a practice that embodies this philosophy. It's a declaration that we are in control of how we start our day, that we are not at the mercy of whims or external pressures. Building a life, as Stoicism suggests, step by step, with contentment in each action, is a powerful concept. It reminds us that big changes start with small, consistent actions. Waking up at the same time each morning might seem like a small thing, but it's a cornerstone habit that sets the stage for everything else. It's about creating a stable foundation for your day, where you're not rushing from the moment you open your eyes, but rather starting with a sense of control and purpose. But here's the thing. Consistency is challenging. It's supposed to be. The early days of trying to wake up at the same time each morning can feel like an uphill battle. Your bed feels more comfortable than ever, and the temptation to hit snooze just one more time can feel irresistible. This is where the Stoic practice of perseverance comes in. It's about reminding yourself why you're doing this, about the person you're becoming through this discipline. It's about seeing beyond the immediate comfort and focusing on the long-term benefits this habit will bring into your life. Becoming a morning person, then, is not just about the mornings themselves. It's about embodying the qualities that make you resilient, focused, and intentional throughout your day. It's a practice in self-mastery, in aligning your actions with your values, and in cultivating the kind of life you want to live, one morning at a time. So how do we make consistency our ally? Start by setting a clear intention the night before. Remind yourself why waking up at a specific time is important to you. Is it to have more quiet time in the morning for reading or meditation? Is it to exercise, or simply to start your day in a more relaxed and controlled manner? Then create an environment that supports this habit. Maybe it's going to bed a bit earlier to ensure you get enough sleep, or keeping your curtains slightly open to let the natural light wake you up gently. And when it gets tough, remember the Stoic belief in the power of our own will, and the importance of acting according to our principles. Each morning that you wake up at your chosen time, you're not just starting your day, you're reinforcing a commitment to yourself, to your growth, and to living a life of intention and purpose. Amidst all this talk of discipline, consistency, and waking up with the sun, it's paramount to remember one thing: we're human. And being human means we're beautifully complex creatures with brains that often prefer the path of least resistance, the instant gratification route. This is precisely why embarking on new habits like transforming our mornings can initially feel like an uphill battle. Yet, there's something incredibly freeing in acknowledging this fact. It's not a flaw, it's just part of the human experience. Now, let's channel some Stoicism into this concept. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-compassion and understanding alongside its calls for discipline and resilience. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, often reminded himself to be patient and forgiving with his own shortcomings. He knew that berating oneself for every slip-up was not the path to growth. Instead, he advocated for recognizing our errors, learning from them, and then letting them go. This approach is crucial when we're trying to cultivate new morning routines, or any habit, for that matter. Those first few days, or even weeks, can be tough. Your alarm goes off and every fiber of your being wants to stay cocooned in the warmth of your bed. And let's be honest, there will be days when you'll give in to that desire. That's okay. The key is what you do next. Do you beat yourself up, spiraling into a cycle of guilt and self-criticism? Or do you take a breath, forgive yourself, and see the next morning as a fresh opportunity to try again? Forgiveness and patience with ourselves are not signs of weakness. They're indicators of strength and wisdom. They mean we're in it for the long haul, ready to navigate the ups and downs with grace. This Stoic practice of self-compassion is about understanding our nature, working with it, and gently nudging ourselves toward the habits and life we aspire to. Moreover, taking it easy isn't about making excuses or allowing ourselves to perpetually fall short of our goals. It's about recognizing that growth is a process filled with learning curves and setbacks. It's about understanding that each new day brings with it a new set of challenges and opportunities. And it's in this daily renewal that we find our strength and resilience. So, as you work on embracing those early mornings, or any new habit, remember to take it easy on yourself. Celebrate the small victories, learn from the setbacks, and approach each day with a heart ready to try again. This isn't just about becoming a morning person. It's about cultivating a mindset that's prepared to face life's challenges with a blend of determination and kindness. Consider the simple act of placing your alarm clock across the room. It's not just about making it physically harder to snooze. It's a statement, It's a commitment to start the day on your terms, to rise despite the comfort of the bed's embrace. It's a small act of defense against the inertia of sleep and comfort, a step toward embracing the day with intention. Similarly, making your bed each morning might feel like a trivial task, especially when you're the only one who'll see it. Yet it's so much more than smoothing sheets and fluffing pillows. It's an exercise in care, in telling yourself that your environment and how you engage with it matters. It's about creating a space that reflects the order and respect you're cultivating within yourself. These small victories, as Marcus Aurelius would likely argue, are the building blocks of a disciplined life. They're the everyday choices that, while easy to overlook, cumulatively mold our character. Each time you choose to do these little things, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. You're choosing to be someone who values discipline, order, and respect for oneself and one's environment. But why focus on these small acts? Because they're within everyone's reach. Not all of us can control the major events in our lives, the upheavals, the unexpected turns, but we can control how we respond to the start of each day, how we treat our immediate surroundings, and how we prime ourselves for whatever lies ahead. This is Stoicism in action, focusing on what's in our power to control and letting go of what isn't. Moreover, these practices aren't just about building discipline for discipline's sake. They're about cultivating a mindset that's prepared for life's bigger challenges. If you can commit to these small acts of discipline, you're training yourself to uphold your commitments in more significant areas. You're sharpening your ability to follow through, to remain steady in the face of adversity, and to approach life with a calm, collected demeanor, qualities that define the Stoic ideal. So, as you consider the role of discipline in your life, start small. Look for those everyday opportunities to practice self-control and order. Remember, it's in these moments, in the quiet of the morning, when you decide to rise and face the day with intention, that your character is forged. These practices are not just chores or tasks. They're rituals, imbuing your day with purpose and your life with a sense of direction and meaning. The idea here is simple yet profoundly impactful. Sharing your goals with someone who not only supports you, but also holds you accountable, can significantly amplify your chances of success. It transforms a personal journey into a shared adventure, making the path to fulfilling your morning routine and ultimately your life's purpose less daunting and more enjoyable. Think of your accountability partner as your ally in the pursuit of self-improvement. This person is there to remind you of your commitments when the warmth of your bed feels too comforting to leave in the early hours. They're there to encourage you when progress seems slow and to celebrate your victories no matter how small. This relationship is a two-way street. It's about mutual support and encouragement, grounded in the understanding that we're all striving to be the best versions of ourselves. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, often emphasize the importance of community and relationships in the development of character and virtue. They believed in the power of wisdom shared, in learning from one another, and in the strength that comes from knowing you're not alone in your struggles. Finding an accountability partner in today's world is a nod to this timeless wisdom, recognizing that while the journey towards self-discipline and purpose is personal, it need not be solitary. Moreover, an accountability partner can help you see blind spots in your routine or approach that you might miss on your own. They can offer new perspectives and insights that can catalyze your growth in unexpected ways. This partnership is about more than just checking in to see if you woke up on time or followed through on your morning meditation. It's about engaging in meaningful dialogue about what's working, what isn't, and how you can both support each other in making adjustments. So, how do you find this accountability partner? Look for someone who shares your commitment to growth and self-improvement. This could be a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. The key is to choose someone you trust. Someone with whom you can be open and honest about your goals, struggles, and successes. Once you've found that person, be clear about what you're hoping to achieve and what kind of support you need. Set regular check-ins and be there for each other, offering encouragement, advice, and, when necessary, a gentle nudge back on track. Remember, finding an accountability partner is about more than just external motivation. It's about building a relationship that inspires and uplifts both of you. It's about creating a shared space where honesty, vulnerability, and mutual support are valued and nurtured. In this space, your morning routines and broader life goals become intertwined in a collective effort toward living a more intentional, disciplined, and fulfilling life. The Stoic practice of reflecting on mortality is a call to action, a prompt to live our lives with purpose and intention. It encourages us not to squander our time on trivialities, but to concentrate on creating a meaningful legacy. Every morning when we wake up, we're presented with a fresh opportunity to engage with life in a meaningful way, to contribute positively to the world around us, and to pursue personal growth and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often wrote about the fleeting nature of life, emphasizing the importance of living virtuously and making the most of the time we have. This wasn't meant to be somber. Rather, it was a liberating realization that freed him from petty concerns and allowed him to focus on his duties as emperor and as a human being striving for virtue. The idea is that by keeping the end in mind, we're more likely to live our lives with purpose and clarity, prioritizing the things and relationships that truly matter. Remembering death in the context of our morning routines transforms how we approach each day. It's not just another day, it's a day that we've been gifted, one that's not guaranteed to anyone. This realization can profoundly impact how we choose to spend our time, the activities we engage in, the relationships we nurture, and the legacy we strive to build. It's a reminder to live fully, to love deeply, and to leave the world a little better than we found it. Moreover, this Stoic practice helps us maintain perspective in the face of life's inevitable challenges and setbacks. When we remember that our time is limited, the daily annoyances and obstacles lose much of their power over us. We become more resilient, more focused on our long-term goals, and less likely to be derailed by temporary difficulties. It's a practice that fosters gratitude for the present moment and inspires us to make the most of it. So, how can we incorporate this Stoic principle into our daily lives? It begins with a moment of reflection each morning. Consider the day ahead as a blank canvas, an opportunity to contribute positively to your life story and to those around you. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, would I be proud of how I'm choosing to spend it? This doesn't mean living in a constant state of existential crisis, but rather cultivating a deep appreciation for the now, for the opportunity to live, learn, and love. In embracing the Stoic practice of remembering death, we're not focusing on the end, but on the present and how we choose to live each day. It's a powerful antidote to complacency and a reminder to live our lives with intention, purpose, and gratitude. So let's greet each morning with the awareness that it is a gift, an opportunity to craft a life that's rich in meaning and aligned with our deepest values. This is the essence of living stoically, making the most of our finite time in this world to create a legacy that endures. We're often told to focus on the positive, to visualize success and happiness in order to attract them into our lives. However, the Stoics, in their profound wisdom, offer a different perspective, one that's not only practical but incredibly empowering. Negative visualization isn't about pessimism. Rather, it's a tool for resilience, preparation, and ultimately, greater appreciation of the present. The essence of this practice is to periodically imagine the challenges, losses, or difficulties you might face in life. This could range from minor inconveniences, like a missed bus or a rainy day, to more significant hardships, such as the loss of a job or a loved one. The purpose isn't to dwell on these scenarios in a way that breeds fear or anxiety, but to mentally rehearse how you would cope with such situations should they arise. This process of visualization prepares you emotionally and mentally, making you less susceptible to being thrown off course by life's inevitable ups and downs. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all believed that by contemplating the temporary nature of everything outside our control, we could cultivate a deeper sense of peace and resilience. This practice encourages us to focus on what we can control, our responses, our attitudes, and our actions. Incorporating negative visualization into your morning routine can transform how you approach your day. Instead of stepping out the door, blind to the potential challenges ahead, you're mentally equipped to face them. It's like a mental training session where you strengthen your resilience muscles, so when life inevitably throws a curveball your way, you're not knocked off your feet. You've already rehearsed this moment in your mind and can draw upon your pre-visualized strategies to navigate through it. Moreover, this practice has a beautiful, somewhat paradoxical effect. It enhances our gratitude for the present moment. By imagining life without some of the things we take for granted, we come back to reality with a renewed appreciation for them. It's a reminder of how much we have to be thankful for right now, in this moment. This isn't about dwelling in fear of loss, but about using the thought of it to deepen our appreciation for the here and now. So how do we practice negative visualization in a healthy, constructive way? Start with a few moments in the morning to contemplate potential challenges of the day, or broader future possibilities. Visualize how you would ideally respond, what strengths you would draw upon, what lessons you could learn, and how you could grow from the experience. Then, let go of the visualization and proceed with your day, carrying with you a sense of preparedness and an enhanced appreciation for your current circumstances. Incorporating gratitude into our lives, especially as we end our day, can have a transformative impact on our well-being and outlook. Keeping a gratitude journal is a beautifully simple yet profoundly effective way to cultivate this sense of appreciation. It's about taking a few moments before we sleep to reflect on the day and jot down a few things we're grateful for. This could be anything, from a kind gesture from a stranger, a beautiful sunset, the completion of a challenging task, or simply the comfort of our bed waiting to embrace us at the end of a long day. The act of writing down what we're grateful for shifts our focus from what's lacking in our lives to the abundance that's already present. It's a practice that aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, which emphasize focusing on what we have rather than what we don't, on what's within our control rather than what isn't. This shift in perspective not only sets the stage for a peaceful night's sleep free from the turmoil of unfulfilled desires or lingering frustrations, but it also primes our minds to begin the next day with a sense of purpose and appreciation. But why end the day with gratitude? Because it allows us to close our day on a note of positivity, regardless of the challenges we may have faced. It's a way of reaffirming the good in our lives, of finding peace even in turmoil, and of nurturing a mindset that sees opportunities for growth and joy in every circumstance. This nightly practice of gratitude creates a ripple effect, influencing not just how we sleep, but how we wake up and approach our mornings. It transforms our first thoughts of the day from groans over the alarm clock to a quiet anticipation of what the new day holds, what new things we might discover to be grateful for. Moreover, this practice of appreciating our life extends beyond our personal sphere. It enhances our relationships as we become more attuned to the value of those around us and more expressive of our appreciation for their presence in our lives. It deepens our connection to the world as we become more observant of and thankful for the beauty and wonder that surround us, often in the most mundane moments. So, as we consider the multitude of strategies to enrich our mornings and, by extension, our lives, let's not overlook the power of ending our day with gratitude. It's a practice that embodies the Stoic pursuit of a good life, one marked not by external achievements or material possessions, but by inner peace, contentment, and a deep-seated appreciation for the present moment. As we wrap up this journey through the 10 strategies inspired by Stoicism, it's clear that each step, each practice is more than just a task. It's a pathway to cultivating a life of intention, resilience, and profound gratitude. Embracing these practices doesn't mean every day will be perfect, but it does mean that every day will be met with a stronger, more grateful, and more resilient you. You have within you the power to transform not just your mornings, but your entire life into a reflection of the Stoic ideals of virtue, wisdom, and contentment. In a world where almost everything is just a click away from being public knowledge, What if I told you that the most empowering thing you could do is keep a secret, not just any secret, but the personal milestones, the quiet victories that are yours and yours alone? We often forget that before the digital age, privacy was a cherished treasure. Stoicism teaches us the value of the inner self, the part of us that doesn't need applause to thrive. It's about understanding that some of the most significant battles we face are fought in the silence of our minds, and not every one of those needs to be a headline in our social feeds. As we dive into today's discussion, think about the last time you chose not to share something on social media. How did it feel? Liberating? A little rebellious, maybe? That's because you exercised a choice that goes against the grain of our share everything culture. You tapped into a story principle that's about as old as philosophy itself, the notion that not everything we do or think needs validation from the outside world. Now, if you appreciate what we're exploring here, a simple free favor you can do is hit the subscribe button. Today we're going to unpack why choosing what to share and what to keep to ourselves isn't just an act of privacy, it's an act of power. By the end of our talk, you might just see your quiet, unshed moments as the gold they truly are. So, let's get into it. When we talk about our personal values, we're diving into some of the most intimate aspects of who we are. These aren't just the standards we hold for our actions. They're the core beliefs that dictate every decision, every reaction, and how we perceive the world around us. Now, consider for a moment how value guide us through the chaos of everyday life. Stoicism teaches that it's not the events themselves, but our responses to them that shape our lives. Our values are our chosen responses, the paths we tread even when storms rage. They anchor us, giving us resilience against what we can't control. For example, if one of your core values is integrity, this will influence how you react when faced with a challenging decision at work or in personal relationships. It becomes your inner compass. During this, no matter the external pressures, you remain true to your course. But how do we identify these core values? It's one thing to list desirable qualities like courage, honesty, or loyalty, but understanding what truly resonates with our deepest self requires inner honesty. Understanding what truly resonates with our deepest self requires inner honesty. This is where Stoic exercises can be incredibly beneficial. They encourage us to reflect on our daily experiences and evaluate our reactions. Did I act out of fear or with courage? Was I honest even when it was difficult? These reflections help us see not just who we are, but who we aspire to be, allowing us to line our actions with our true nature. Stoicism doesn't just stop at knowing your value. It pushes for consistency between your value and your actions. This alignment is crucial because it's easy to claim a value. It's much harder to live it out, especially when tested. Stoics propose exercises like the evening reflection, where you review your day's actions and assess whether they were in line with your values. This practice doesn't just reinforce good behaviors. It also helps root out the inconsistencies, giving us a chance to course correct. Now, living in line with your values is undoubtedly rewarding, but it's not without its challenges. The modern world constantly bombards us with messages that can cloud our judgment or lead us astray. Social media, peer pressure, and even advertising can subtly shift our focus from our values to more superficial metrics of success, like wealth, fame, or physical appearance. Stoicism teaches us to recognize these external influences and separate them from our internal dialogue, which is essential in maintaining our path and not getting lost in others' expectations. Why is this alignment so vital? Because it ultimately leads to a more fulfilling and peaceful life. When our actions don't match our values, we feel it deep down, a kind of moral dissonance that can lead to stress, unhappiness, and even depression. But when they do align, there's a profound sense of peace and satisfaction that comes from knowing you are living true to yourself, regardless of external circumstances. This journey towards understanding and living your values isn't just about personal satisfaction, though it impacts everyone around you. When you live by your values consistently, you become a beacon for others. You inspire those who might still be searching for their path. and you offer a model of ingratitude and strength in a world that often values the opposite. Diving deep into what really makes us tick isn't just an exercise for philosophers or the introspective few, it's something that can benefit us all. Think about it like this. Identifying your core values is akin to mapping out the territory of your soul. It's about understanding the landscape of your inner world, which in turn shapes how you navigate the external world. And while it might sound like a hefty task, it's one that Stoicism, with its focus on self-awareness and wisdom, tackles head-on. Now, the process of figuring out these core values isn't about picking from a pre-made list. It's much more personal and profound than that. It involves a deep and honest look at what drives your decisions and actions at a fundamental level. What principles make you feel most alive? Which values, when you act on them, make you feel like you're being most true to yourself? These aren't questions that can be answered quickly. They require reflection, perhaps through journaling or meditation, both practices highly regarded in Stoic philosophy for their power to reveal our true natures. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom comes from within, from understanding our own virtues and how they connect to the universal virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. By identifying our core values, we're not just making a list, we're committing to a life that seeks to harmonize our actions with these virtues. For example, if you value honesty, then living truthfully in all your dealings is a way to practice the Stoic virtue of justice, aligning your personal values with a broader ethical framework. Furthermore, it's important to realize that our values can evolve as we grow and experience more of life. What we hold important may shift. This is where Stoicism offers another valuable tool. The practice of constant Stoics advocate for regular periods of reflection to reassess our values and ensure they still represent who we are and who we want to be. This isn't about inconsistency, it's about growth. As you face new challenges or learn from past experiences, your understanding of what matters most can deepen, leading to a more nuanced appreciation of your values. And let's talk about how these values play out in the real world. Identifying your core values has practical benefits that extend far beyond personal satisfaction. It affects your relationships, career choices, and even day-to-day decisions. When you know your core values, you can choose paths that align with your principles, leading to greater fulfillment and less regret. You'll be less likely to find yourself in situations that compromise your integrity or leave you feeling out of place. So, how can you start identifying these core values? Begin by considering times when you felt particularly full or right about a decision. What was driving that feeling? Was it a commitment to fairness, a desire to be creative, a need to challenge yourself, or perhaps a commitment to loyalty? Also, consider the opposite. Situations that made you deeply uncomfortable are just as telling. Often they signal a violation of a core value. It might seem like a buzzword at times, but light management, matching what we do with what we believe, is one of those pivotal ingredients in a life that feels genuinely fulfilling and authentic. When our actions and our values are in sync, there's a kind of harmony that permeates everything we do, from the way we interact with others to the personal goals we set and strive to achieve. In the realm of Stoicism, this line is not just recommended, it's considered essential to living a virtuous life, one that is consistent and true to oneself. So why does this alignment matter so much? Think about the internal conflict that arises when we act in ways that contradict our core beliefs. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? There's a discord, a nagging sense of being out of step with ourselves. Stoicism teaches us that peace of mind comes from living a unified life, a life where our thoughts, actions, and values are all pulling in the same direction. The ancient Stoics believed that dissonance between these elements leads to turmoil within the soul, while alignment brings tranquility. Consider the Stoic idea of living according to nature, your own nature and the nature of the world. This means understanding who you are and what you stand for, and then acting in ways that are congruent with that understanding. When there is a clear line between your beliefs and your actions, decision-making becomes more straightforward. Stress levels drop and confidence grows because you are no longer at war with yourself. You're not pretending to be someone else or living by someone else's rules. You're being fundamentally true to your own values and principles. This alignment also impacts how we relate to others and navigate the world. When you live in alignment with your values, people know what you stand for. This transparency builds trust and respect, qualities that are crucial in both personal and professional relationships. It also makes you a stable and predictable partner, friend, or leader, not murkier or inconsistent, but reliable and steadfast. Moreover, living in alignment attracts others with similar values, creating a support network of like-minded individuals who reinforce and share your commitment to certain principles. The process of achieving and maintaining alignment isn't always easy, particularly in a society that often values expediency over it. It requires a constant process of self-examination and adjustment. Reminiscent of the Stoic practice of the evening review, at the end of each day, Stoics reflect on the actions of the day, asking yourself, did my actions today reflect my core values? Where did I fall short, and how can I improve tomorrow? This practice isn't about self-reflection, self-excellence, but about self-improvement and realigning our daily actions with our deeper value. Moreover, active life offers a deeper sense of satisfaction with life. There's a profound joy and peace that comes from knowing you're living in a way that's true to your deepest beliefs. This isn't the fleeting happiness that comes from external achievements or the approval of others, but a dailable, enduring contentment that sustains through life's ups and downs. It's the kind of happiness that Stoics aim for, a happiness based on virtue and self-consistency. In a broader sense, living with alignment helps us navigate life's challenges with greater resilience. When we face tough choices or adversity, being anchored in our values provides a guidepost for action that feels right, even when the right action is difficult. It enables us to act with courage and integrity because we're not just reacting to external circumstances. We're responding in a way that's consistent with our deepest self. Sticking to your core values sounds straightforward when you're in a calm, controlled environment, right? But let's face it, life isn't a controlled environment. Life is unpredictable, messy, and full of temptations and pressures that can easily veer us off course. This is where the real challenge comes in. Maintaining that limit between what we believe and how we act when the world around us seems intent on touching those beliefs at every turn. One of the primary hurdles we face in staying aligned is the external pressure to conform, whether it's from our social circles, workplace, or society at large. There's often a strong push to fit in. This can mean adopting behaviors or making choices that don't match up with our internal compass. The Stoics were well aware of this challenge and emphasized the importance of fortitude and personal integrity in the face of societal norms. They advocated for a kind of moral courage, the courage to stand firm in your convictions, even when doing so might make you stand out or swim against the current. Another significant challenge is the complexity of modern life. We are bombarded with choices and information, and often the right path isn't clear. It can be tough to discern which actions lie with our values, especially when those values might conflict with each other, or when the consequences of our choices are uncertain. Stoicism offers a tool here as well, the practice of reflection and contemplation. By taking the time to reflect on our decisions and their alignment with our values, we can navigate complex situations more effectively. This reflection also involves being honest with ourselves about our mindset and the potential impacts of our actions, ensuring that our choices are not only intentional, but also informed. Additionally, there's the issue of short-term dishonor clashing with long-term values. In moments of weakness or stress, it's all too easy to give in to impulses that might lead us away from our principles. Here, the Stoic practice of self-discipline and control over one's passions comes into play. Stoics believe that by mastering our impulses, we can ensure that our actions remain in line with our deeper values, rather than being derailed by feeling desire. Maintaining alignment requires continuous effort and vigilance. It's not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of deal. Our environments change, we evolve, and our understanding of our values can deepen over time. This dynamic nature of life means that staying aligned is an ongoing process of adjustment and realignment. It requires us to be perpetually mindful and proactive about our choices, a concept that is at the very heart of Stoic philosophy. Sometimes the challenge also comes from within, in the form of self-doubt or lack of self-awareness. It's possible to be sincere in our intent to live according to our values, but misguided in our execution. This might be due to blind spots in our self-awareness or misunderstandings about what our values truly imply for our behavior. Stoicism encourages us to seek wisdom continually, not just about the world, but also about ourselves. This includes recognizing and confronting our limitations and biases and being open to learning and growth. In facing these challenges, it's crucial not to be too hard on ourselves when we falter. The Stoic path isn't about achieving perfection, but striving toward becoming better versions of ourselves. Each challenge offers a new opportunity to strengthen our commitment to our values and to practice the virtues that Stoics hold dear: wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. When it comes to keeping our actions in sync with our values, it's often easier said than done, right? Even with the best intentions, the hectic pace of daily life can sometimes scatter our focus. Luckily, there are some practical, down-to-earth strategies we can adopt to help ensure we stay on track. These substances are acting on them becomes second nature. First up, let's talk about setting clear, actionable goals that reflect our core values. It's like giving yourself a roadmap where each milestone is aligned with your deeper beliefs. Say one of your values is compassion. You might set a goal to volunteer a certain number of hours each month. This isn't just about doing good deeds. It's about MBSing into your life in a tangible way. Similarly, if integrity is a key value for you, your goals might include always being transparent in your communications at work, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Another powerful strategy is to create daily rituals that reinforce your values. The Stoics were big on routines that help them embody their philosophy. For instance, you might start your day with a few minutes of reflection on what your values are and how you intend to demonstrate them throughout the day. This could be as simple as a morning meditation or journaling session where you set your intentions to be patient, frugal, or whatever else aligns with your values. Reflection is key here, and it's something the Stoics practiced diligently. They believed in the importance of examining one's actions at the end of each day to see if they lived up to their ideals. You can adopt this practice by taking time each evening to review your day. What did you do that was in line with your values? Where did you fall short, and how can you improve tomorrow? This isn't about beating yourself up over mistakes, but about acknowledging where you can do better. Accountability partners can also play a crucial role in maintaining alignment. Share your goals and how they relate to your values with a friend or a mentor who can help keep you honest. Just like a workout buddy can motivate you to hit the gym, an accountability partner can help keep your actions aligned with your values. They can offer a fresh perspective when you're facing challenges and celebrity with you when you successfully embody your values. Incorporating visual reminders of your values into your environment can also be incredibly effective. This could be as simple as posting quotes that resonate with your values around your workspace or home. Each time you see these reminders, they can serve as a prompt to act in ways that reflect your deepest beliefs. For instance, a Stoic might keep a symbol that represents tranquility, an essential aspect of Stoic calm in their living space, to continually remind them of their commitment to maintaining inner peace despite external chaos. Practicing mindfulness can enhance your ability to live according to your values. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your thoughts and actions in the moment, allowing you to make choices that are more deliberate and aligned. When you're mindful, you're not operating on autopilot. Instead, you're fully present and making conscious decisions that reflect your values. which is a core aspect of Stoic living. Learning to confidently say no is like developing a superpower in today's yes-centric world. It's not just about turning down invitations or requests. It's a profound act of self-respect and a crucial component of living a life aligned with your values. Think of it this way. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your core beliefs, you're actually saying yes to your own priorities, health, and well-being. But saying no isn't always easy. We're often conditioned to avoid it for fear of seeming rude, unhelpful, or selfish. Hence, Stoicism offers a counter to this mindset by emphasizing the virtue of wisdom, knowing when different choices serve our higher goals. When you say no to demands that clash with your values, you're actually exercising practical wisdom. You're making a deliberate choice to honor your commitments to yourself and your vision of the good life. One effective strategy to say no with confidence is to be clear about your reasons, both to yourself and to others. When you understand and can articulate why something doesn't align with your values, it becomes much easier to communicate that decision succinctly. For example, if you value personal growth and someone incites you to a project that you know will lead nowhere, explaining your focus on meaningful projects can help both you and the other party understand your refusal. Another key aspect is to practice assertiveness. Being assertive doesn't mean being regressive. It's about being firm and straightforward in your communication. It's perfectly okay to say, "I appreciate your thinking of me, but I can't commit to this right now." Or, "This isn't right for me, but thank you for the offer." These responses show respect for both yourself and the person making the request, maintaining the relationship while still standing your ground. It's also important to normalize saying no for yourself. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Start with small things, like declining an extra responsibility at work when your plate is already full, or saying no to a social event when you need time to recharge. As you grow more accustomed to pushing back against smaller demands, you'll build the confidence to say no in more significant, regardless-stake situations. Moreover, remember that saying no can sometimes lead to feelings of guilt or worry about missing out. Here, Stoicism teaches us to focus on our inner state and not be troubled by external judgments or fears. Reflect on the tranquility and freedom that come from making decisions aligned with your personal philosophy, rather than decisions driven by anxiety or a desire for approval. Consider the long-term benefits of saying no. Each time you make a choice that aligns with your values, you reinforce your identity and integrity. This not only builds your confidence, but also strengthens your reputation as someone who is clear, reliable, and principled. Over time, people come to respect your choices and your willingness to stick to your beliefs, which, in itself, can reduce the pressure to conform.